right. Do you want to introduce yourself and kind of what business you own here in Tascadero?
Yes, my name is Azita Bernard, and I am the owner of Azita's Bakery, very small pastry shop in Atascadero, and I am located inside of Back Porch Bakery. So I prepare on weekends French pastries for them,
Yeah.
and it's on the display so everyone can come and look.
Yeah, they all look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
know,
Thank you.
And Backpork Bakery is inside of the Carlton,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So it's the other side, but the storefront's right there, right off El Camino.
Yes.
My sister-in-law said that she knew a little bit about you, but she said that you started, you were a scientist before you
Yes.
started doing patisserie, right?
Yes. Yes.
So let's start with that. So what were you doing in the science realm first?
okay, I have to tell you that I went to France to do my scientific studies in 1980. So I'm old.
It's all good. Yeah. No.
And I was student and I was amazed by French pastries.
Yeah.
But students, they don't have money. They
Yeah.
want to they want to entertain people. And I started to do a little bit of pastries over there. Started by doing tarts. I mean, easy stuff. And I went to college. I went to university, and I had my master degree. And then after that, with my husband, we went to South Carolina. And he had to start a business over there, and so I followed him. And in South Carolina, you couldn't find anything in 1990s.
No.
You couldn't find anything. And he's French. He wants his baguette. He wants his
Okay.
sausages, and
Yeah.
so I was very much limited. So I started to do baguette
Yeah.
because we couldn't find anything.
Sure.
And so I started to do that. I was always amazed with French pastries. To do that, to acquire some ingredients, we had to go to Atlanta, Georgia. There's a farmer's market over there. And you had to drive 5-6 hours,
Yeah, it's far.
and fill up your car with ice chest and everything, and still I couldn't find a lot of materials. So we would bring them back to South Carolina, and and just doing small. And we had over there we had a group of French women. And we used to get together, and I used to entertain them,
Yeah.
with my pastries. And then I started to work, but as a scientist.
Yeah.
We came to California. California was it provided a lot more. I did not have to make bread. We had Trader Joe's.
A lot more
you know,
produce available, right?
and
Yeah.
more produce available.
Yeah.
And so I just did, my little things, but I still was a scientist
Yes.
until 2018.
Oh, okay.
2018, I said, you know what? I love science. I have to tell you, I love science. I love chemistry, and that was my field. But I always was interested to make pastries. So I said, no, you know what? I cannot forget about that. I am going to the School of Pastry in France, in Paris, and the School of Le Nôtre. It's a very famous one. And I went there, and I was just flying. I felt so good. So I learned a lot of techniques over there.
Yeah.
And then I brought them back. Soon as I brought them back, my friends, they all wanted to they wanted me to make wedding cakes for for them. So I started to do that for my friends, just for friends, and
Right.
but loads and loads and loads. And who is gonna eat those things? Who is going to because thank God I have a lot of friends. So I was giving, making, giving. And so I said in 2018, I said, no, I have to follow my dream. And then I said, so how am I going to follow my dream? How am I going to, I'm not a business person.
Yeah, right.
And one of my friends knew Dan Birkland, who is the owner of Back Porch Bakery.
Oh, okay.
And Dan called me, and then he said, I want to meet you. And I said, well, okay, I'm going over there. He thought I was a very big French pastry chef because he saw my Instagram.
Yeah.
And then he said, you know what? Why don't you come and do it in here? We do a lot of French croissants, French bread.
Right.
And I said, yes, but you're lacking French pastries. And so I started to, it was 5 years ago, I started to do making pastries over there.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning, it was tough because no one knew. It's a bakery. It's not a pastry shop.
Right.
And I was not looking for a very big business at all. I'm an artist most than anything. I'm an artist. I wanted to make artistic pastries.
Yeah.
So I started, and little by little, people knew me.
Yeah.
And here I am. So every weekend, I make different types of pastries. So this is for people. And I really wanted to bring that side of France to here, to make them realize that, there's something else also. It's good to know.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah. Okay, so let's back up. So when you went to the French school, the pastry school, is there any requirements for you to get into that?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh yes. They wanted. One of those requirements was you have to be a pastry chef.
Oh, you have to be one.
Yeah,
already.
and I was not.
Right.
And I said, how am I going to get inside of this? Because there are. People are coming from all over the world, and you work with very famous pastry chefs. And I said, how am I going to go there? So I started to send them some of my work.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm very interested. I would like to open a business. And so they looked and they told me to go. So I was very excited.
Oh, nice.
So I was very excited. So I went there. At the beginning, it was very intimidating.
Right.
And, but very soon I got familiarized with,
So I'm assuming, is all of that also in French?
Yes.
Does everyone speak in? I'm assuming.
Everyone has to speak in French.
Okay,
yes,
so
and
you're-
I'm speaking French.
So
yes.
you're fluent in all
yes,
that. So that
yes,
wasn't an issue.
Yes, yes. And I saw all the people who were coming. A lot of people who come, they don't understand French.
Yeah.
They speak English, and
Right.
the teacher has to know some English technical word.
Yeah.
So everyone was coming to me, and I was translating here, and I was mostly a translator.
For all the English speakers.
I know.
Or other languages in general, right?
Well, you know what? If you go to France,
Yeah.
and if you go to a pastry shop, a pastry school, you have to know French and at least English,
Yeah.
So I was fluent in both of them.
So that's perfect for you.
I had a very good time.
So you didn't have any issues like because I went to ultrasound school, and some of the foreign exchange students, they had a hard time if they were from somewhere else. Like I had someone from Nigeria, and they had a hard time translating the English, a lot of the technical stuff from they could understand English just fine, but once you get down to like the technical stuff, it was really difficult for them. Was that an issue for you when you're going through school?
Not very much.
No.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because you know what? I was amazed with the techniques that they were using.
Yeah.
I said, French people, some of them are very arrogant.
Sure.
you know.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? This arrogance, it warts everything they are doing because they are doing it so perfectly.
Yeah.
They can be arrogant. It's fine.
Right.
You know, it's fine. No, it was fine. And the teacher, knowing that I explained to them that, you know, I'm a scientist. I came here because I love doing that.
Yeah.
And they were very happy too because, you know, I was not one of them. And I wanted to go inside of their world.
Yeah,
So,
right.
yeah, very, very soon we became friends. And then, no, it was not an issue for me.
So how long does it take for you to really kind of get good at that? Because it is, I mean, this isn't really a comparison, but we watch British Baking Show whenever it comes around, and we always love Patisserie Week. It's like our favorite week of the entire season.
Yeah.
So how long does it usually take?
You know what? I hate doing competitions because, you know, I'm an artist.
Right.
When you go to the world of artistry, you don't care about what is going out, you know, around you.
Yeah.
You just want to do what you want and what comes in that moment.
Yep.
And what did you ask me? I forgot.
I just said, how long does it take you to really?
Oh, I'm still working on it.
But
I
mean,
can tell you, I still make mistakes. I'm still making, you know, improvement.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, and the world of pastry is not stable. It moves on.
Yeah.
You know, from now then to 10 years ago, there has been a lot of improvement. There are a lot of new things. Always. And I don't do very much old French pastries. I do the modern one. And so I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I'm still learning. Not only I went to the French pastry school in France, I also took classes with other pastry chefs. You know, I went and I cannot stop myself. I learned, you know, gluten-free, vegan.
I know. I did see last week you were like, I think it was gluten-free.
I do a lot of gluten-free stuff.
But it was really good.
And lactose-free, vegan.
Yeah, that's good.
I learned all of that. But, you know, here, if you say vegan, you just make a cake without eggs. But over there, it's a French pastry, but vegan style. It's a world by itself. It's just amazing. It's amazing. So, yeah, I learned all of that. So, yeah.
Amazing.
But you know what? In Atascadero, I don't want to go anywhere else.
Sure.
Because I live in Atascadero.
Yeah, right.
And it's just next to my house. I don't want to deal with traffic going here and there. No, you know what? I'm an artist more than anything.
Yeah. Well, it definitely comes through in all your pastries. Are you like kind of staying within a frame of like, oh, it's this or that? Or are you like looking at stuff? Like, how do you get inspiration for the stuff that you make?
I do look at, you know, I'm following very big chefs, you know, very famous chefs. And I look at what they are doing.
Right.
Because, you know, they're always doing new things. They don't give you any insight. They don't.
Not.
No.
Right.
So I make my own recipes. I come with, it's just building a house.
Yeah.
I have to think about something. I'm building it, and little by little, I go, okay, I make recipes for that building, and I come with what I present.
So are you writing this stuff down as you're kind
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, 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 yes.
And how much trial and error is there? Is there quite a bit? Are you
right now, you know, I'm confident.
Yeah.
Whatever I do, I'm very confident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get to that point?
I don't know. If you know, I'm thinking constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly, I'm coming with new things.
Yeah.
I'm writing them down and I'm improving them. It just how long? It's a long. It takes you a long time to present what I'm displaying in the. You know, it's just not by itself.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah.
No, I look at it. I'm like, I don't even know where to begin. There's so many things going on with the stuff that you do. I'm like, that's not just one technique. It's several techniques wrapped into one thing.
Yeah, and then you know, it's a very small case. You know, for me, it's enough because I want to, more than anything, I want to be able to make things. You know,
right?
And so when you see one pastry, French pastries is all about layers. You know,
Yeah.
you have crunches, you have cakes, you have creams, you have fruits, you have chocolate. So, you know, one time, for example, you know, I make pastries that are probably 3-4 centimeters. It's probably a little bit more than 1 inch.
Yeah.
There are 10 layers in them.
I know. Yeah.
You know,
I've seen.
there are 10 layers in them.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to, you know,
Exactly.
good things take a long time.
Definitely.
And I'm for it. I don't mind it at all.
You know, yeah. 'Cause I think that would absolutely drive me crazy. Like getting it right. I think I would be just a perfectionist. So like the stuff that you make now, are you kind of like moving with what's kind of in season as well?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And also here where I am, you guys, I'm very, you know, I understand you. You would like to remember your childhood.
Yeah.
So you love cheesecakes, you love carrot cakes, you love cupcakes, you like those
Yeah.
are and you love brownies. So I try to incorporate French thoughts into those pastries.
So like those elements, but in a
Yes.
definitely high, like elevated
Yes,
way.
yes. And then you know, for example, this weekend I made matcha.
Yeah, I
you
saw
know,
that.
matcha cake
Yeah.
with mango. It's very new, and not everyone like matcha. You
Yeah,
know,
right.
not it's very particular.
Yeah.
But I said, you know, how long I can bring raspberries, strawberries, you know, seasonal fruit. Okay,
Yeah.
but I have to bring something new.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, I made 2 weeks ago, I made black currant. In French, it's cassis.
Oh yeah, we got those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sour.
Yeah.
It's sour, and people, they think it's sweet. They confuse that with raisins, you know? And I love that. Whenever I
You
go
trick
to
somebody.
France, whenever I go to France, I have to make sure to have blackcurrant ice cream and sour cherry ice cream. I just love them. So I cannot find them in here.
Yeah.
I cannot find them in here.
Yeah, I don't know if that's. I've never heard of that here, but we do have like unique stuff. Like my wife just got the apricots down at Gopher Glen this week, and it's only available for like 2 weeks. The
Yes.
Blenheims.
Yes.
So we just got the last case of that.
Yes. Yes.
And what else is there? Olalaberry.
Yes,
That's definitely
yes.
unique to this area.
Absolutely. Yes.
Which I didn't know. I mean,
yeah,
I'm
it's
from
mostly it's from Norway or Sweden. You know.
here. Oh, they have them over there.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So I'm sure you've worked with all of that stuff.
Sometimes yes, and
Yeah.
then I'm looking for lychees. I'm looking, you know, this weekend I think I'm going to work on lychees and rose and raspberry. You know, it just bring them all those flavors together. I'm hoping I'm getting, you know, successful. I don't
It's
know.
so awesome that you're like just constantly just trying to be creative and, like you said, an artist. And,
You know, which is very surprising to me. People, they come and they look at my display and say, "Oh, it's so beautiful." They take pictures and say, "Okay, I want a croissant."
oh,
You know, we have those people too. And I
Okay.
said, well, you know, but I have a very faithful customers, and they are so nice to me, always writing to me, and those people encourage me to keep on going.
yeah, yeah, wow. So when you're coming up with stuff, how does that process work?
I told you.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, you said you're like, oh, I might start with this, or this might be a baked product, or we're doing layers, right?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I have to be in advance, 3 weeks at least in advance. When I went to the School of Pastries,
Yeah.
I saw how they in order for them to display a cake for you, it takes for them 4 days.
Okay.
So the first day they do all the cakes. Then the second day they do all the crunches. Then they make all the fruits. And then the fourth day they all come together. They layer them,
Yeah.
and they decorate them, and then they put them on sale. That's how I do it too.
Oh, okay.
You know, so it takes me a whole week to prepare. If it's very small,
Yeah.
but you know, I have to prepare those in advance
Right.
and put them all together.
At the very end. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're kind of prioritizing what's going to go in
Yeah.
kind of at the
yeah.
right time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, it's not, it's not like cookies. You put them all together, scoop them, and bake them. No,
Right.
at all. It takes several days to do that.
Yeah, I didn't know the whole entire process because you see it on TV and they're making all that stuff all at once. I mean, it looks like it.
Well, it
right?
depends. They have to come up with a recipe that asks
Right.
for it.
Yeah, yeah.
But those recipes, like if you want to make an opera cake, it has 7-8 layers.
Yeah.
Okay, you can make them in one day, but it takes several hours to do that.
Right.
And opera cake is the easiest one. It's the easiest one. What if you have different kinds of layers?
Yeah.
They have to be perfect, and they have to go on top of each other without any holes. And then that takes several days to do that.
So crazy. It's so awesome though.
That's
I mean,
that's my this is my
It's
passion.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm so glad. I did science. That was my passion, and this is before I become invalid. I wanted to.
Be invalid.
I
Just
want
keep
to
going.
do. I want to do 2 things in my life that I really loved. So that.
So are you traveling a lot too? Like, are you traveling, in the United States, but as well as in Europe and getting ideas, tasting food, seeing what's going on?
United States, yeah. If we go to San Francisco, I look always to see
man.
which one. If we go north, I look always to see the ratings. But you know what? Sometimes they call themselves French pastries. I go there and I'm so disappointed.
Oh no.
Yeah. But there's a big line for those pastries.
Yeah.
Because it's cheaper.
Right.
It's cheaper. People, they want to. But if I look to see who has the best rating. We go there, we taste them.
Yeah.
And if I go to France, I make sure that I stop in Paris and I go to some of my favorite chefs' store, and then I have families in France. We have both of our families, they live in France. So, and then we go to see them. So I'm sure.
You do the pastries first.
Yeah, I love that. This is, and if anyone goes, I ask them to bring me some materials. That I
right.
cannot find them in here.
Yeah. What can't you find here?
There's a cocoa powder that I really love, and Valrhona chocolate. Valrhona chocolate is the best. And there is a Valrhona shop in southeast of France. If I know someone goes there, they bring me some materials.
You can't like order it online. Or
Yes,
Oh, you can. It's
yeah,
just ridiculous
yeah.
or something.
It's so expensive.
Oh my gosh.
It's so expensive, but I pay for it. I pay for it because I have to make them.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So what makes that chocolate so good?
Quality.
Quality.
I don't know why. It's the quality. There's some chocolates are better than others.
Yeah.
I think the origin of cocoa. I don't know.
You don't
I mean,
know?
I'm not into that area yet.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, because in my pastries, I go around 3 things. One of them is chocolate. The second one is nuts, and the third one is fruits. So I try to combine them. I try to put at least one of them into my pastries.
Yeah. And then, so you kind of touched on this earlier, but how is it cooking here, especially in Atascadero, versus cooking? I mean, I don't know if you cooked out in France, but the cooking there, right?
First of all, yeah, in France, it's way more upscale. I'm here, I'm accommodating myself. I'm working in the kitchen in here, which is good for a bakery, but it has a lot of things that I can use, and I can go around it. In France, it's way more upscale.
Yeah.
And for small quantities that I make, this is good. And I am very grateful to Back Porch Bakery's owners, really, and they are really helping me. They're very nice with me. Anything I need, they provide, and they accommodate me. you know.
So do you do stuff there, or you're doing it at home?
No,
Like,
no,
you
I
make
do it over there.
over
I do
there?
it over. Yeah,
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 you're making
yeah.
everything out of
Oh
the
yeah,
kitchen.
yeah.
So going back to the stuff that you learned about gluten-free and dairy-free vegan. So what, I mean, not specifically any recipes that you have, but like I'm always like looking at stuff because I can't have dairy. So that's a very difficult thing for me to like try and replace because it's the butter and the dairy and they act a unique way
Yes.
that makes everything delicious.
Yes.
So is there a way, I mean, you've already probably looked into it. What do you replace with that stuff to make it not the same? It can never be the same,
You
right?
know what?
But it can be similar.
Yeah. Okay. I have to go step by step. For example, the chocolate here,
Yeah.
we use to dilute that chocolate, we use a lot of heavy cream or
Yeah.
my chef, he used water. Amazing. And then he put some kind of, emulsifier.
Agent, yeah.
Yeah. And to make it, to make it very fluffy.
Yeah.
And so that's for chocolate. For what? For butter, he uses coconut butter,
Okay.
coconut oil, coconut butter.
Okay.
And what else? That's for dairy.
Like cheese, oh, not cheese, but yeah, dairy, like milk,
I
butter.
have to. It's been a long time I haven't done that. But for eggs, for example,
Yeah,
for
exactly.
eggs, he uses soy powder or sweet pea powder.
Oh.
And then you beat that, it becomes just like white egg. It's so fluffy.
Really?
I mean, I learned so many stuff. It's amazing. So, but I haven't done that for a while.
Yeah.
Because it's expensive.
Yeah, right.
Vegan is expensive.
Definitely.
And I don't have enough customers for it.
Yeah.
He uses a lot of nuts, nut butters.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of materials, but I have to go and look my book
Yeah.
to come up with that too.
Interesting. Okay. And then you said, like, I think it was last week or the week before, you said you did gluten-free?
I
Right.
do a lot of, if I don't make cake,
Yeah.
big cake,
Right.
if it has a layer of cake into my pastries, I usually, try to make them gluten-free so I can accommodate a lot of people.
So when you go to France, what are you looking for, and what are some of your favorite pastries that you eat in general?
You know what? A variety of
Right.
things. A variety of things. Yeah, I cannot say.
There's not
we
like a
just
go-to or whatever.
No. I don't eat there, croissants are always available, and Back Porch Bakery makes the very, very good croissant.
Yeah, I've had those. They're so
I can tell you that. They are big, in France it's not as big, but they make a very good job for their croissants. And but croissants are always available in France. But if I go, one of my very favorite chefs is Cédric Grolet.
Okay.
Cédric Grolet, it's first of all, if you want to go to his shop, you have to make a huge line. The line is so huge, and you have to be lucky to get in.
Mm-hmm.
He makes a lot of pastries with fruit and not sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Not sweet.
Not sweet, huh?
And he makes pastries in the shape of fruit. I try to do that in
Yeah.
here. I try to do with lemon. I try to do with pistachios. I mean, a lot of things. So very unique. I go and I look specifically for look. I like if your look is amazing, you can put amazing products and it becomes an amazing pastry.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for look first.
Okay.
A lot of people, they go for taste.
Yeah.
But when the look is good and the taste is good, because I always put best ingredients. It cannot go wrong.
Right. Right. Wow. So how is how are the tastes different here I'm assuming they're different, or
Yeah.
what are
Yeah.
people expecting? Are they still kind of like, I know you're kind of pushing it kind of where you're at, but and people are slowly coming around, but
That's very true. That's
yeah,
very true. One of the things that I'm not very fan of is buttercream in here. You know,
buttercream. Okay,
people love it, and I'm not
you're not into it.
because it's very heavy and it's very sweet.
Yeah.
And so instead of buttercream, I use a lot of ganaches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's more expensive, it's less sweet, and I like it better. You know, I like it better.
Yeah.
So I use a lot of ganaches.
Ganaches.
Yeah, yeah.
And then how is pastries kind of evolved as you started doing it maybe just at your house and kind of evolved like to modern day? Like I feel like there's so much stuff going on, like on social media and all the stuff that these
Yeah.
people are doing, like making all these crazy sculptures out of chocolate and all these baking
Yeah,
shows.
yeah,
And
yeah. The basic core is the same. Only the look and the putting it together changes. You know?
yeah.
So, for example, if you want to make Napoleon, we call it millefeuille, you just put them all together, all those puff pastries and custard, and put them all together, puff, 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 and then but modern pastry, it has to be perfect.
Yeah.
It has to be, it cannot go wrong. When you cut it, it has to be perfect cut. And so shapes, different shapes, they do a lot of nice molds for that. It's amazing. And then, it's just your creativity. Just
Right.
your creativity.
Right, but that takes a while for you to kind of have a base of techniques, I feel, right, before you can be like, okay, now I want to express myself in the way.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
you're like, I'm going to use all these different techniques and then put it all together, and then that's my art
Mm-hmm,
there. Which is, I mean, so before this, I did photography, and that was like kind of, I would be like, oh, I like that element of that picture, so let's do that. Or I like that pose, and I'm going to combine them together, and then that's my
Mm-hmm. Yes,
picture,
exactly,
right?
because you're an art. You're
Yeah.
an artist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
like, oh, okay. Like, let's pull this. Like,
Yes.
like for me personally, I never wanted to copy what I
Yes.
saw.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
I want to ingest it and then spit it out the way it comes through my filter. And-
I can copy very easily.
right. But it's not exciting, right?
No, I know that.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
like-
I know.
And then I can tell you each element that I used, where I'm pulling from. But that took
Yes.
years
Yeah.
to kind of build up that
Yeah,
base
yeah, yeah.
of what to pull from. So I'm
Yeah,
assuming it's
yeah.
very similar to.
It is, and it takes a long time.
Yeah.
It takes a long time. I made a few times pistachio in form of pistachio, and I looked one of the chef. I said, "Oh my God, this is so nice," but he never says how he does it. So I had to come up with my own building, my own recipe, and then put them together. At the beginning, I had a few that broke,
Yeah.
didn't go very well. But I think I know how to do it.
But
Yeah.
but you're like, I'm just gonna figure it out,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
So speaking kind of what you just said, is there anything? I'm sure there's been moments that you like something didn't go well or didn't turn out right. Can you think of any examples?
Yeah, I have. It didn't turn out the way I wanted to be.
Yeah.
But people, they always told me, "Oh, this is amazing, Azita. This is very good." And I said, "You think so?" So yeah, and they still enjoyed it.
They still enjoy it. But you're like, that whatever one you're specifically talking about, that wasn't exactly what you had in your mind.
I have to think about it. It became something else.
It became something else.
It became something else, but it still was very good.
But you're like, this wasn't exactly what I had.
No, and then I disposed so many materials.
Yeah, trying to figure it out.
to figure it out.
Yeah.
I do it in a small scale, and then I because I know I have to dispose it.
Yeah.
Or I give it to my husband or to eat.
So how tough is your husband? Is he pretty hard like now at this point?
No, at all. He
No.
loves everything.
He
I
loves
do.
everything.
Yeah, he loves everything. But I don't try to give him all the time. I give to other people.
Yeah.
At the bakery, there's so many nice. I mean, I love the crew over there. They're so nice. If something goes wrong, I tell them, "Would you like some?" Failed macaron. I said, "Oh yes."
And they're like, yeah, sure. Yeah, I've tried to make those before and I failed. I could not get it right. It's still like my arch nemesis doing macarons. I'm sure my wife could do it.
I brought you some.
No, I know.
So
They're gonna be delicious. You're like, you don't have to
I
make
hope
them.
so.
No, everything you've we got stuff is so delicious. Everything we ate was so good. What do you got going on this weekend? You're just making.
This weekend is done.
Oh, you're done.
Yeah, I mean it's there. I put it for Saturday, and if there's any leftovers, Sunday, and then on Monday I have to start thinking about the next weekend.
So, what do you do for fun
What do I do for fun?
other than pastry?
I have a lot of friends.
Mm-hmm.
We get together,
Yeah.
we go out, we go dining, we go,
Yeah.
or that job. It's very small. It takes so much of my time.
Yeah.
And I'm still working as a scientist. I'm still working, so I'm very, very
You're very
busy.
busy.
I'm very busy. Yeah, yeah. I'm still working. At the at the place that I used to be. I go and I help them. I make products. I'm always busy.
Yeah, a lot of the people on the British Baking Show that do well, and specifically, I mean, probably baking, but Patisserie Week specifically, a lot of them are scientists,
Yes.
engineers,
Scientists. Yes. Yes.
Scientific.
I know this guy who is, who is very humble, and he went to learn pastry. He's a very good pastry chef, but he wanted to improve himself. He's into croissants right now. Every single day he makes a batch of croissant.
Every day, huh?
And they look perfect. And he says, "No, that's not the way I want to be. I want them to be." And he starts all over again. And he is an engineer too.
That's so interesting.
This is, our passion.
Yeah.
If you cannot stop it.
Yeah. Have you seen that movie, Hero Dreams of Sushi? Have you seen that
No.
documentary?
No.
You should watch it. I think you'd
Okay.
be really into it. It's
Okay.
kind of the same thing. So he's like, I don't know if he's still alive. It was kind of a while ago. But he's a sushi chef. And it's exactly the same stuff you're talking about. He's like, my sushi is not perfect, but he's the most popular sushi guy.
Yes.
And the
yes.
line is out the door. You don't have a menu. You just get what he serves you.
Yes.
And he's like,
Oh, I think I saw that.
amazing.
I saw that. Oh, yes. I saw that. Yes.
And what was it? Like one of the interns come in and they just start making rice.
Yes.
For
yeah.
years.
Yes.
And they're like,
I
no,
saw
it's
that.
not
I
right.
saw that. Yeah.
I'm like, this
Yeah, I
sounds
saw that.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
I'm like,
But mine is very small, and I want to be small. I
Yeah.
don't want, because I have so much going on. First of all, I want to create.
Yeah.
Okay. Creation takes time,
yeah.
and it's very limited. And I want to do other things. I have so many things going on. I never wanted to be a big businesswoman at
Yeah.
all.
Right.
I really don't want. And I want to get to know my customers. A lot of them, I know them. They became my friends. And I really enjoy that.
What brought you here specifically?
We went to South Carolina. We from France. We went to South Carolina. We stayed 8 years, and then I was teaching. I was teaching science in South Carolina, and I did not, like very much because it was in high school. It was very demanding. I was not teaching. I was babysitting.
Yeah,
you
right.
know, it was very difficult. So my husband knew about it, and he was looking for another job. We never thought we were coming to California,
Yeah.
and that's how we came to California.
Oh, he
That's
found a job here somewhere.
yes, yeah,
But on the Central Coast
yes,
specifically.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
And then you're like, had you visited before?
At all.
No.
He visited and he
Oh,
said,
yeah.
"Oh, it's so beautiful,"
Yeah.
and so we came here.
And you're like, okay, well,
Yeah,
this will work.
it's been 22 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
So
I
you've
can.
been here
I
for a
have
while.
never stayed in any area 22 years. Yeah.
Ever.
No, ever. Yes.
All right. Well, what else do you want to add? I mean, this is great. I mean, this is perfect. I have an undivided attention of like this pro pastry chef.
Yeah, no, I mean, just, I'm very humble and, I love what I do and I encourage people to come and look. It didn't
Yeah.
have to buy it. They can come and look.
But please buy. I mean, come on. I was going to ask you. So, what does patisserie mean specifically? We didn't cover that. So, what does patisserie mean specifically? In French, I guess.
Patisserie and bakery are different.
Yeah. Right.
It's
Yeah.
different. Patisserie, it demands building. Baking, it just you bake them.
Yeah.
Patisserie, not only you bake,
Yeah.
but you fill also. In France, I told you, patisserie, it's all about layers.
Yeah.
It's all baking is not about layers. It's not about it. It's delicious. It has another science into it.
Yeah.
Really, it's amazing science into baking, specifically for bread and viennoiserie, which is croissants. And everyone can follow a recipe to make croissant, but not all croissants are good.
No, mine failed. I think the
It-
layering is all what it's about, right?
The layering,
Layer.
the
Resting.
temperature.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. So yeah, patisserie is all about layers of biscuits, crunches, mousses, and this is what I do. And patisserie has a lot of different areas of patisserie.
Yeah.
So what I do is modern French patisserie.
Right. And do you know where that? I mean, it obviously started in France, but like, how did it come about? Do you know? Other than the French being
Not really. No, I don't know.
no.
I don't. I know a lot of French chefs. Gaston Lenôtre is one of them. The school that I went to. He passed away, but he's one of the most. I mean, the most famous French pastry chef in France, and yeah.
So
I mean,
he kind of put patisserie on the
Oh.
map.
Oh, and yeah, he's one of them.
One of them.
Yes, he's one of them. And then others followed him,
Yeah.
went to other directions. Yeah,
But what you do, you said, is modern patisserie.
I love to make modern French pastry. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it looks amazing. And like I texted you, I was like, I didn't want to eat it. And you're like, please eat it. And they're like, we will. Don't worry. We will. But yeah, so let's tell them where you're at again. And
It's it's a Carlton Hotel in Atascadero. Next to it is Back Porch Bakery, is 6005 El Camino Real.
right.
And I display my pastries specifically on a Saturday. And the shop is open from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
And I not only I do French pastries, those cute ones, but I also do chausson. Chausson is kind of like a turnover. Oh, that goes so fast. I cannot keep up with that. And usually I make apple chausson and peach or apricot chausson.
yeah.
I make pain au raisin. It's a French. It's what is that? Raisin swirls. I make briochette. It's just like a brioche and I use a lot of fruits in them because the Back Porch Bakery, they do a lot of good things. They don't have fruits very much, and I do. The fruit parts is me. It's my part. I do macaron,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I mean, I come up with a lot of ideas, and then I display them, and I like to vary. I'm not staying with one thing.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
No, every week it's different, and
Yes.
it's all equally amazing. Like,
Thank you.
honestly.
Thank you.
And then give me your social handle where people can find you, because there's a lot more pictures on your Instagram too.
What do you mean? It's Azita's Bakery.
Yeah.
I have Facebook or Instagram.
And that's what you have.
I don't have, a
Website and
website. No, I'm not interested. Because if you have a website, you have to. No, I'm not. I want to be small.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Is there anything else you want to add before we kind of
No,
wrap
thank
this up?
you. Thank you so much
Of
for
course.
inviting me.
Yeah, thanks for
I
coming.
hope
Say hi.
I hope I'm I'm just not disappointing anyone. I hope people they will taste, and I would love to have their comments. If they eat something, if they try something,
Yeah.
They usually write to me in private, but just put it on the put it on the Instagram or Facebook, so everyone can see it. Yes.
Definitely. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Sweet. All right, let me shut this down.
Okay. Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, no, thank you.